melted glass.
Woo! Here we go, guys, with another Death Curse Society episode. We got a lot to talk to you about tonight. I'm your host, Red Crank. I got the Colonel, and I got Zigzag. Woo!
What?
Oh, God. Get that shit out of your face now. You're messing me up here.
Happy belated Halloween, folks.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. I hope you had a great week last week and got lots of candy, got lots of scares. We do not have a sponsor for this episode. We're still shopping for sponsors, so if you know of anybody, send them our way. Tell them to hit us up at deathcursesociety@gmail.com, and we'll let them know how they can become a sponsor of the show. We're going to be talking today about Creepshow Season 1 and have been announced for Season 2. We're going to talk about the whole season. We're going to talk about Countdown in theaters now. We're going to look at Satanic Panic, which is available on video on demand and DVD. We're also going to be looking at the Grudge trailer that just dropped a few days ago. And we're going to talk about what we did on Halloween, just to kind of keep it in the spirit of things. But before we get to all of that magical, happy-ass goodness, let's go camp.
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't you? You'll never come back again. It's got a death curse.
This time for Let's Go Camping, we're going to be talking about one of the most anticipated projects of the year for me. I know not so much for the other guys, but Dr. Sleep drops in theaters on November 8th. We're going to take a look at the trailer. I'll let you have your argument here in a minute. No.
I'll let you put me in with the hate from Colonel. I like The Shining, man. Don't be lumping me in with that shit over there. I'm ready to give it its day in court.
Wait, okay. So here's the trailer.
When I was a kid, there was a place. A dark place. They closed it down and let it rot. But the things that lived there...
Hello, Danny.
they come back.
Not many ride the bus this far north. You're running away from something?
I'm running away from myself, I guess.
Hi. You can hear me. You're magic. Like me.
I don't know about magic. I always called it The Shining. The world is a hungry place. A dangerous place.
These people, they hurt people like us.
These empty devils, they'll eat what shines. And they've noticed that little girl.
Wow, hi there.
Get out of my head! Get out!
I haven't felt power like that in so long.
They're coming. Where are we going?
There's a place. You sure you want to do this?
I'm ready.
Yes, you run, dear. And then I will find you, and you will scream for years.
Come and play with us forever and ever.
So that's the trailer for Stephen King's Dr. Sleep. That's going to be, wake up, Colonel. Sorry.
Fuck, I need to see him every night, that fucking trailer. Ooh, man, that's better fucking NyQuil and melatonin, man.
You see what I have to deal with here, guys? I mean, this is rough. All right, so Stephen King, one of my favorite authors. A lot of you guys' favorite authors out there, I'm sure, if you're definitely a horror fan. This book was one that I wanted after I read The Shining 30-something years ago. I've been waiting for what happened to Danny after the Overlook Hotel. Now, we had the book a few years ago. Now we got a movie. The thing I like about this is the movie, the Dr. Sleep sequel is going to tie to Kubrick's original movie, which Stephen King didn't necessarily like, but was convinced that, yeah, this is a good idea, the way Mike Flanagan, the director of The Haunting of Hill House, wanted to make this movie. I'm very excited about it. Let's start with Zigzag on this first, though, and see what he thinks about it.
I'm scared of the truth.
Well, I'll say this. It does seem more these days like it's not, what Stephen King thinks about a script or the direction it's going in. It's how high the dollar amount is to get those rights to do so. Having said that, this reminds me of very much like Devil's Rejects to Three from Hell. Hopefully it doesn't water down The Shining at all like Three from Hell did. Granted, Three from Hell, super entertaining film. Now, it was good. It's good in that way, but you have to admit it did water down that ending a little bit, and that's what I'm hoping we don't get from Dr. Sleep to The Shining. There were some epic moments in that movie. Looks like they took the care to redo some of the scenes in it painstakingly. It looks good. You're walking on the thin ice. Hope you didn't fuck it up. We hope. There is getting some positive reviews from the big shots around Hollywood and everything, so we'll see. We're right up on it now, so it's Judgment Day is here.
About the time that this drops on Thursday, I will probably already be in a theater watching this movie, so I'm psyched. Colonel, let's have it.
Get your Charmin ready.
I'm telling you, I'm about to shit all over this fucking movie. This fucking trailer, as I've said in the past, it looks watchable. I mean, I'm not looking forward to seeing it, but I'm not fucking dreading it either. It's well known I'm not a huge fan of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. It's cool, different strokes for fucking different folks, all right? I can see why people like it. I just thought it was dull and boring. I feel like you don't have to see The Shining to appreciate this film. Even I would suggest you probably want to watch The Shining before you see Dr. Sleep, so you kind of know what's going on. But them reshooting the original shots, I think they're going to fill in those gaps for the people who have not seen the original film, which kudos to you, because it worked out well with Halloween 2018, I guess. That's all I got to say. I mean, I'm middle of the fucking road here.
You mentioned you're not the biggest fan of The Shining. You did pick it up recently to rewatch it, but you have not seen it yet recently.
Recently, unfortunately, I was too busy watching horror movies I enjoy for the month of October. I didn't want to bring myself down during spooky season in case I didn't like The Shining. If it makes you feel better, Midsummer's been collecting dust on my shelf because I've been waiting for October to end before I watch that too, because I really want to like it, but I don't want it to be shitty and be like, fuck, I wasted 2.5 hours in October. Let me watch Friday the 13th Part 4 for the fucking 1,000th time like a fucking idiot instead of something new.
Well, hey, man, I will say this. I think the Shiners are going to have their fucking hands full when Ben Kenobi comes walking in, wielding the fucking lightsabers, baby. This is going to be epic.
Wrong movie.
What?
Wrong movie. Wrong franchise.
Wait, it's him, though. It's him. I saw it. It's fucking Ben Kenobi, man.
Zigzag and the Colonel are kind of giving me a hard time here. I'm used to this, but it's Ewan McGregor, who plays Ben Kenobi in some of the Star Wars sequels, or prequels. Yes, we know. He announced recently he's got a new Obi-Wan movie coming out for the Star Wars universe. I know some of you guys are excited about that as well.
The Republic has already won.
But yeah, I'm curious to see his take on an adult Danny Torrance. I'm curious to see where Danny Torrance and this new kid, and then of course what people are saying is the greatest villain of the year, and possibly, in the top 10 of all time, this new Rose character from Dr. Sleep.
In all seriousness, like I said, Ewan McGregor is a great actor, and I think he plays scared very well. Him taking on Danny Torrance, probably a pretty good choice as an actor, as a good actor. So if anybody can do it, it's Ben Kenobi.
Because the Force will be with him.
Here we go. All right, never mind. The movie Dr. Sleep is in theaters November 8th. Go check it out. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more Death Curse Society right after this.
I'm going to go now. You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
Wondershare Filmora is a user-friendly, easy-to-use video editing software which contains hundreds of special effects for video that allows you to easily create a unique visual effect. Head to www.wondershare.net and get started editing now.
Hi, it's Kane Hodder. You're listening to Death Curse Society. Keep listening. Or don't fucking listen, I don't care.
You will subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Welcome back to Death Curse Society, gang. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I don't know why that thought just popped into my head. But now,
you weak-minded fool.
Never know. Now it's time for some stories around the campfire.
I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason.
Hey, come back, come back.
So, Shudder's Creepshow just wrapped its first season. 6 episodes, 12 stories. Greg Nicotero, thank you so much for bringing this back from the dead. Colonel, what do you think of the Creepshow first season?
I thought it was pretty decent. I'm not going to say it's great because honestly, some of the stories were really fucking hit or miss. I feel like 6 episodes, even though it was 12 stories, really didn't give the season enough time to really hit its stride. I would have preferred maybe like a 10-episode season. But like I said, overall, it gave me something to look forward to every week that I actually looked forward to watching.
I think this was a good first introductory season. Gives them a little bit of an idea of, all right, what did the audience like? What did they gravitate more towards? What can we do next season using that data and capitalize on it? That's what I think this was all about. Because I agree, there were a couple of stories that for me were just kind of average at best. Most of it, though, I really enjoyed. I thought it was a good take on the original source material and modernizing it for 2019's audience and a streaming audience at that. The episodes didn't have to be exactly 44 minutes or 42 minutes every week, but they were. I wish they would have played with that a little more and delved deeper into some of the episodes and maybe cut back on some of the ones that didn't necessarily need to be that long. But they only really did that once, and that was with the Night of the Paw. I think Night of the Paw was a little bit longer than most episodes.
Kind of right there with Colonel. I think all of us probably overhyped it just a bit is out of excitement and anticipation. But some of those episodes, just did not feel like Creepshow. It was more like a Tales from the Crypt, more like a Tales from the Dark Side kind of vibe to it. The last couple definitely got more into that whole Creepshow vibe, especially the last 2, in my opinion. I agree with Crank on that too. They probably were feeling it they wanted to see, and then obviously it's a smashing success. So let's see 10 episodes, 12 episodes for season 2, and let's put the fucking Creepshow filter in, man. Get those fucking red colored lights and the blue lights and the shock close-ups of faces and the fucking everything like that. That's what makes it Creepshow,
You say bring back more of the red and the blue filters and the close-ups like you were saying. Do you think making it more like a throwback to the original movies, would that make this series better, or would that kind of cheapen it in a way?
Probably would have made it a little feel like more Creepshow, and the ones that, like Man in the Suitcase was, come on, man. That had nothing to do with Creepshow, in my opinion. It didn't fit. That was the only one that really didn't fit for me. A lot of the episodes didn't hardly have any of that. When we got to the werewolves one with the Nazis and everything, they kind of started doing it. I was like, there it is, and it was like, yes, that's Creepshow. That's what we need. That's the panels. Make it the comic book panels, And they did it here and there, and they moved around to tell the story that way, but make the live action shot like the panel with the colors and the close-up. That's what makes that shit Creepshow.
Hits a nostalgic nerve for me, obviously. Colonel, what do you think? Do you think it would help the series if they did it more old school?
As much as I love it, and as we talked about this before, I love those colors, the screenshots, the close-ups. I love it as much as you guys. Will it help the series? I don't think so. You really have to kind of make this its own thing. I know it's Creepshow, but it's not the films, it's the TV series. If anything's going to help the show more for me is longer run times for the stories, kind of like what you mentioned, Crank. Okay, so take the Times is Tough and Husky Holler story. Man, I know we had a lot of panels to kind of move the story along, but man, that would have been great as a 45-minute story. There was so much backstory they could have built on this.
Yeah.
How this fucking dude pretty much just ran over the fucking town.
Agreed.
So I really think story length is what we need to improve the series, which isn't bad in the first place. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on it. I enjoyed it. But if you're going to go Tales from the Crypt style, one story an episode, 45 minutes. Boom.
One of the reasons, and I speculated about this in one of the Slash reports I did, but one of the reasons why I think they stuck with that 42-minute time frame was they're probably going to re-air these on AMC at some point down the road. Maybe right before season 2 debuts on Shudder. Kind of a marketing ploy to tease people that didn't subscribe for the first season. Hey, we got season 2 coming. Why don't you check out season 1 now for free, and then we pull you in.
Now, I know that we all caught the Father's Day zombie as one of the attackers in that episode, right? Is that badass or what?
Oh, yeah. That was very nice. That was a nice little throwback. What was your favorite episode, Colonel?
As much as I like the old Chappie episode, directed by Tom Savini, which I thought was great, I'm still going to go with House of the Head. I thought that was a great story, a different take. That's what blew me away from episode 1. I'm like, okay, I'm digging the show.
That's a good one. That's the one with Kaylee Fleming from The Walking Dead in it. And it's tough to find a small, young actor like that can pull off the kind of things that kid is doing. And I'm not even sure how old she is, 10, 12, whatever. I don't care. That kid is fucking good. And stay off the drugs, kid. Don't Lindsay Lohan it when you get out there. Please. Just
say no to blow.
That's right. Ziggy, what do you think was your favorite episode?
Yeah, man. For me, it was Dana Gould, pretty good comedian, Skin Crawlers. That was outstanding. I love the take. It just goes to show you, they're saying, the society will put anything into their system if they think it'll give them a skinnier ass or a washboard stomach. Outstanding story and just great.
I will say this about that episode. That was probably the goriest of everything that they put on Creepshow this year, too.
That might have had a hand in it. I'm not real sure. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But I love Dana Gould anyway, man. He's so fucking funny. But seeing him in that kind of situation, I think that might be a first that he did like a really intense horror scene like that, just fucked up that he was right there on the cusp of, letting the thing go to work on him. And just how cool an eclipse comes along. It's the one thing they couldn't test for, you know what I mean? Yeah. That it makes everything go wrong.
Yeah, that was a well done story too. I enjoyed that.
How about you, dude? What was your favorite episode?
Mine, Zag, honestly, you guys have listed off the 2 that I thought were probably my favorite in the first season. Runner-ups to that, though, would probably be All Hallows Eve, the 5 kids that were killed and are going back and getting revenge on Halloween night. I thought that was a clever story. It wasn't done as well as I had hoped it would be, but it was still a fun story, and I think it was pretty good. And then I also like Night of the Paw, even though it's just such a retelling. Every anthology series has done this, from The Twilight Zone to Creepshow now. But Bruce Davidson's performance in that was just stellar, man. He went from guilt and remorse and hopefulness, but still a sadness underneath it. And then that one line where she's like, "Do you want to die, old man?" And he's like, "Oh, yes, please." Yeah, there's just this escape of giddiness, like, yes, kill me so I can be with my wife again, It's a split second of a moment in that scene, but he's just solid. I'll list those as like runner-up since you guys stole my ideas.
Well, I will say this. Now that it is such a huge success, it'll probably attract some other big-name directors to come along and put their 2 cents in on this, which is going to be fucking welcome for sure. It did seem like there was some filler in it. You know what I mean?
I think they got a decent amount of talent for the first season.
Yeah.
All the way from Tobin Bell to David Arquette to, Bruce Davison to Adrienne Barbeau briefly. And did you catch her at the end of the first one too? Or the last one?
Yes.
Little ode there. I thought that was nice.
Lots of Easter eggs in this one, folks.
Well, I'm hijacking the moderator section for a second, all right, on this topic.
Get it!
Because we all agreed that these episodes were hit or miss, or at least the stories.
Oh, yeah.
We told you our favorites. I want to know what you guys thought were the worst stories. We'll go with, since Craig's thinking hard, we'll go with Zag.
Yeah. Man in the Suitcase, man. Didn't fit. No pun.
That story was a little bit out there, I will agree, but the effect of that guy in the suitcase was one of the better ones in the film. Now, the
effects aside, the story was stupid.
The effect of the demon at the end, ooh, that was rough.
Well, Crank, I'm going to give you a little more time to think about it. I'm going to go with Lydia Lane's better half. The story just dragged on and on and on. Fuck, give me some payoff. Granted, the payoff then was good. I just don't think it was worth the wait.
I kind of like that one. I love the Weekend at Bernie's like throwback with her trying to get the body down to the basement, avoiding all the coworkers and shit. You know, it was creepy. It was creepy, man, to that corpse and stuff. But to each their own.
Well, I'm probably about to disappoint Zag again because I think my least favorite out of all of them was probably The Finger. I thought it took the universe of Creepshow out of its own universe too much with him talking to the camera so much.
It's smarter than it should have been for Creepshow.
It just
I'll give you that.
I'll say this: it just did not fit in this season. Maybe down the road, if they keep it up for 3 or 4 years and they're trying to change things up a little bit.
Story's actually good, but yeah, it doesn't feel like a Creepshow. This is what we were kind of getting at the beginning of this whole rant. You know, was some of this needed more of the Creepshowiness.
That one did have also probably I think Colonel pointed this out, the worst stop motion effect too.
Yeah, stop motion. And Nicotero insisted that it be stop motion.
Well, Creepshow got renewed for a second season. I expect it to be coming out again next year around September, just like this. Looking forward to it. Greg Nicotero, Shudder, keep us happy with this. I'm looking forward to Creepshow Season 2. Next up on Stories Around the Campfire, we're going to talk a little bit about the movie that's now in theaters, Countdown. It's
the
final countdown.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the fuck is all this? Stop. Okay, turn this off. Stop it. Yeah, no, not the Europe song. No.
Okay, all right, we're done. We're done.
Okay. No, it's the new movie, Countdown. It's in theaters now.
The final countdown.
I hate you all. All right, so I guess I'm going to try to get through this review without even mentioning the name of the movie now. But
what movie?
Countdown. God damn it.
The final countdown.
All right. So I happen to be the only one of the three of us that got a chance to see this movie, and I went in with the lowest expectations ever. And I have to say, I was slightly impressed. This movie was a lot better than I expected it to be. It's better than it's even meant to be. If you've seen the trailer, you know this movie's about an app that you can download onto your phone, which tells you the precise moment of when you're going to die. It basically has a countdown clock on it. That
the final countdown.
Okay. And when that clock reaches the end, you die. Now, if you have done anything to change where your fate is supposed to have taken you, it sends you a message that says you have broken your user agreement. One guy had like a fishing trip planned, but he canceled going on this fishing trip because it took place at the time that he knew he was supposed to die according to this app. So he doesn't go on the trip. He immediately gets a message saying, hey, you've broken your user agreement. And then he starts seeing things, and there's like an angel of death that's kind of around him at times. The way they do it is a lot smarter than you really think it's going to be, knowing it's a piece of phone technology that's supposed to kill you. Like I said, I thought it was going to suck. I thought it might be good in a cheesy kind of way, but I thought the writing was clever. I thought the idea, they actually fleshed out more than you expect from a movie like this. And there's one character that a couple of the main characters go to for help. Of course, they find out that there's some kind of maybe demon that they think is involved in what's going on with them. So they go to a priest for help. You've seen this in so many other movies. You think you know exactly how it's going to be. And the character of the priest is unlike anything you've ever seen in any other movie. It's a breath of fresh air. It's funny as shit. And even his introduction, you're just kind of like, what the fuck is going on? This is going to be a little different, I can already tell. And it is, and I enjoyed that. That's probably one of my highlights of the movie. It is a PG-13 film, so there's not a whole lot of gore, but dude, it's not bad. I know, roll your eyes, Colonel, I know. But so it's not bad.
It is fleshed out better than Final Destination, it seems, like, because they don't,
Final Destination really never gave you too much of a backstory in the first one, at least.
Right.
It just happens.
It just happens, and
yeah. There's a little bit more to it than in this. I will say, though, it's obviously a ripoff of Final Destination and even a little bit of Flatliners. I'll give you that as kind of a clue. Any questions, Colonel?
No, the very descriptive review there. You answered everything I would have asked.
I'm trying to do it in a way that doesn't give anything away. Really.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, you gave enough to. Like I said, I was interested in it, like you were. Okay, it might be so bad that it's good.
Right.
You say it's actually good. Okay, I mean, I'm all in. I was wanting to see it. Now I have even more reason to see it when it hits the red box.
It's definitely worth a matinee, definitely worth a red box rental, and especially since, honestly, I haven't really seen that much marketing behind it. It's like they push it in the theaters, but I can't remember seeing a TV spot for it. I haven't seen any other real major marketing for it. I haven't seen a major online push for it, except for like a few days. I think I saw something on Facebook where, like, right before it debuted in theaters, and that was it. And I haven't seen anything really about it since it opened. So
yeah, only way I knew about this movie was when we went to research it. And I had to go seek it out myself to find the trailer.
I will say the only actor that I really recognized in it was a guy named Peter Facinelli, who I thought did a tremendous job of just being a sleazeball. I think he was in the Twilight movies. Don't get me wrong on that. I'm not sure.
Oh, you saw them all. Come on now. You little fucking vampire.
I'll tell you the movie I liked him in was The Big Kahuna with Kevin Spacey and Danny DeVito, which is based on the stage play Hospitality Suite by Roger Roof. Anyway, so the movie is in theaters now. Go check it out. I'm going to let them have one more good time. The movie's called Countdown.
The final countdown.
Why did I get into this? Next up on Stories Around the Campfire, if you haven't checked out Satanic Panic on video on demand or Blu-ray, check it out. It's available now. Ziggy, what do you think of Satanic Panic?
Just the name alone, I was dreading this assignment. I'll be honest. I was just like, this is going to be all sorts of bad. Then I watched the trailer, and I chuckled a little bit. Okay, nothing we haven't seen before. But our friends at Fangoria Films have got behind a movie. Independent, yes. B-movie level, oh yes. But extremely entertaining. Satanic Panic is hilarious. And scary, not really scary, but like it's more like in the disturbing vein. You know what I mean? Anytime you fuck with these Satanists, man, these fuckheads, black magic, all that shit, it's all here. Baphomet.
The band?
Absolutely hilarious. That's just what we're talking about. This is the kind of writing we get in this movie. Just jokes like that. I mean, if you don't know, there's a band called Baphomet. Jerry O'Connell makes a cameo in this movie. He's telling the Virgin that Baphomet will tear his way out of her uterus to be born into the world and grant them special powers for resurrecting him. And she's like, Baphomet? What, like the band? These are definitely the jokes you get, and the story progresses. It's just Satanists chasing a virgin with all kinds of side goofiness happening. The Satanists are elite rich people, assholes, very much like Ready or Not. Mm-hmm. It's great. They start turning on each other just like you would expect them to. Directed by Chelsea Stardust. I don't know much about her, what she's done, but she does seem to have a pretty good future in here. Haley Griffith as Sam. She's the star of this pizza delivery girl. Gets stiffed on a tip. Goes in, confronts. It looks like it's some kind of real estate fucking hustle. The ladies in there going, "Who's ready to be rich? Right. Who's ready to be famous? Who's ready to give themselves to Satan?" And everyone's just like, "Yes, hail Satan!" And she's like, "Where the fuck am I at?" And they determine she's a virgin, and all the hijinks begin. I was extremely entertained by this movie. I mean, the ending, it gets kind of cliche at the end, but it was very satisfying. Everything's tied up. There's no fucking sequels or anything. We're one and done here, but Satanic Panic is well worth the $6 you're going to spend to check it out on pay-per-view, in my opinion.
I thought it was an entertaining hour and a half. It wasn't great. I mean, the effects were fine. The acting was a little better than okay. They had this unusual take on a horror comedy, which I kind of liked. And just because of the way the movie begins, kind of outside the pizza delivery place, and the 3 delivery people are standing there waiting to be sent on an assignment or whatever, it almost reminds me of Kevin Smith's Clerks, but with a horror vibe attached to it.
Rebecca Romijn is one of the main antagonists of this film. And Arden Myron comes off as the dolt. You know, her name's Gypsy in the movie, but she's hilarious. And the way she executes her character, I was laughing out loud at times with some of the shit she was doing. So, but it has its dark moments and it has its bloody moments. But I mean, this movie is worth the watch, man. I'm giving it the full DCS endorsement on this, much like I did for Hell House LLC.
If you're in the mood for it, check out Satanic Panic on DVD or video on demand. Next up on Stories Around the Campfire, we're going to show you the new Grudge trailer. Check this out, and we'll be right back to talk about it.
Hello, it's Peter Spencer.
I'm here about selling the house.
Is anyone home? Hello?
This is Detective Muldoon.
This is Peter Spencer. Something happened to me at 44 Rayburn Drive.
Someone was murdered at that house.
Why did you never go into that place?
Something never felt right about it.
Looks like we got another one.
Do you think that the body we found's related? Hello? I went to the house. Hello? Police department. I think something followed me home.
Mommy, what's going on? What's wrong?
We need to leave right now.
All right, so that's a trailer for the new Grudge that's coming out in theaters next year. Colonel, what are you thinking about this?
No. I didn't like the original Japanese version of The Grudge. I hated the Sarah Michelle Gellar version of The Grudge. I'm positive I'm going to hate this fucking remake. So, no. Sorry, guys. No. You're on your own. I wash my hands of this.
All right. Not just no, but...
Hell to the no.
Come on. Woo. Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no.
Well, all right. Ziggy, what'd you think of this one?
I don't know, man. All I could think of when I saw Harold going in that bathroom was I needed some White Castles. I think they kind of missed the mark the first time around with this one. I didn't like it, as Colonel did not, but this one had a little bit more of a scary vibe to it again. But we've seen this 100 times, man. The trailer's going to look good, and the movie's going to suck balls. We don't care about rings. We don't care about fucking grudges. We want Jason, we want Freddy, we want Michael. So fuck you with this fucking stupid curse Japanese kabuki bullshit. All right? Enough already.
Here's my take on it. The Grudge has got such a bad name anymore in the horror world. There are people that like it. There are its fans, but the hardcore horror fans are sick of it. And if they did like the original Japanese version, they hated the American version. And if they liked the American version, they hated the Japanese version. They hated the sequels and everything else. There's so much hatred around this movie that it's hard to make a remake of it. So why bother?
I mean, they're 2-hour fucking movies, and there's 11 minutes of scary shit in it, man. The rest of it is bullshit. It's not good. The formula doesn't work. It didn't transfer well even to the American thing. I mean, fuck, they had to take it back to fucking Japan in the sequel, for fuck's sake.
All these strides horror's been making the past 3 years. This movie's gonna fucking flop. Fucking Hollywood's gonna be like, nope, it sucks, just like it did with The Rings.
Yeah.
But therefore, all horror sucks, and we will not put one penny towards it. You know, then we got to wait for the next fucking, you know, like
the next It to come out. And
didn't you remember? I mean, Halloween made how much? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Idiots. The Rings fucking killed your fucking momentum with you had a Friday the 13th sequel. You fucked it all up. Let it go. We don't care about grudges and rings and shit. God damn it.
Well, it sounds like you got a grudge.
There's not much you can really tell us about this that's going to change our minds. So, I mean, feel free to tell us we're wrong in the comments. But, yeah, The Grudge, it's in theaters next year. All right, next up on Stories Around the Campfire, we're going to get a little personal for a minute. We're going to talk about what we did for Halloween. Colonel, any big plan or any big events happen while over Halloween week?
My Halloween actually starts in September when I go to my first haunted attraction, Sandyland Acres Haunted Hayride in Petersburg, Kentucky. Honestly, a pretty cool interactive hayride that is good for children of all ages. Not all ages, but of mature age. It's not scary, but the scenes are set up cool. It's a lot of fun if you have little ones. I took my oldest daughter to it. She loves it. Then went to our amusement park. Very famous amusement park, Kings Island, my local park. Like you would expect any theme park, long lines for shitty fucking haunts. But that's not why I went. I went to ride the Beast. The Vortex before it closed, Mystic Timbers. I went to ride fucking rides and enjoy the Halloween scenery. Then October hit. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Funds were a little low. Let's just watch a horror movie. So we watched a horror movie every night the entire month. And I took both of my daughters trick-or-treating on Halloween night in the 20-degree weather with the wind.
Yeah, it was definitely cold on Halloween, it looked like.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah. How about you, Ziggy?
Yeah, Colonel mentioned going to Kings Island for the Halloween weekends. That's what they do in Cedar Point, too, at the other side of Ohio there. But it's one of their haunted houses all mostly suck. They put them in like concession stand areas and empty buildings and stuff like that they have on the property. Whatever. I appreciate it. 6 or 7 good ones, and they're not that good. But what they do at Cedar Point that I always appreciate is put a graveyard of their former rides that they took down. You know, it'll be like a gravestone in the shape of what it was or the theme of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the decorations are great. There's old hearses and shit around in it. So the decorations are worth it. I mean, and riding the coasters and everything, but the actual haunts on these amusement parks, shitty. But here we go. My Halloween weekend, myself here. It started, I'm off Mondays around here. I work every day except Mondays. So we got my son, my 7-year-old. We went off to what's called Hush Haunted Attraction here in Westland, Michigan. It's local, but they're high quality Hollywood on this thing. They actually bought up a old skating rink, a big-ass giant skating hangar, and put this whole big-ass haunted house in there. And you know what? We went in. My 7-year-old was in there, went with us. He actually led some of the tour through the haunted house. What it is, it's kind of a haunted hotel. That's the theme. So you had like concierge and skeleton face and shit like that, playing roles. Is there anything you need, sir? Just call down to the front desk at any time during your stay. Very cool. They don't ever break character. But, I mean, you could see LED lights around, so it was never pitch black in there. So he was okay. And, like, some of the shit interacted. There was a big, like, steampunk claw that came out and grabbed him from the wall and everything. He liked that. It had the compression area where, you know, it's the air mattresses. You got to kind of it squeezes you. So he dug all that, right? Great. We had a great time, and he was a new fan of haunted houses. I was like, great. This is great. He's 7. He's got it. So come Halloween night, it's just like Colonel said, with the wind chill, it was like 22 degrees and a wind advisory. We made it about a half hour before we were both frozen solid and said, the hell with this. So I pitched the idea, why don't we head over to the Haunted Funeral Home, a smaller haunt, but it's been around 30 years. He was all for it, man. We got in there. This haunted house is a pitch black, dark maze with sudden strobes and stings and lightning flashes that reveal someone standing right in front of you. It's ridiculously scary. I mean, even for an adult, I was laughing, but man, it was trippy. There's dead ends all over the place. He hated it. He actually broke down a little bit at some point. I had to kind of guide him through, and then the chainsaw guy fucked him up, man. That was traumatic for him. So, I mean, they still do the chainsaw there, and it got him, and he was just like, Dad, never again. No haunted houses. That's it. Then I got him to say if it's one of those kind with the lights on, where he could kind of see, then it's okay, but no more dark haunts. And I was like, okay, all right. So we got home, we ate candy, we got to Burger King, got chicken nuggets, watched a horror movie, Monster Squad, Colonel.
Yes, good choice.
Sure, yes. And he went to bed, and I started editing some show content, for a few hours until my eyes went crossed. I had to go to bed. So I get up to go to bed. I go check on my son. I'm all like, whoa, what the hell's going on in here? It smells awful. Something's bad in here. I figured the dog had an accident or something. So I turn the light on, and I reveal that he has exorcist vomited across the carpet, the dresser. It was Halloween Horrors at 3 a.m. in the morning, man. And I was just like, what do you do? I grabbed a bucket of water and a sponge, man, and went to work. It was 6 a.m. before I got done. I had to get him up and get him in the shower, man. It was a complete horrible Halloween nightmare. It was awful. Parents, you can relate to this, man.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants to clean up puke, and you don't want to clean up puke when you're exhausted and you're going to sleep. Limit the Reese's and the Skittles and the Starburst and the Suckers, and never dump $10.49 chicken McNuggets down your 7-year-old's gullet before he goes to bed. I implore you, please. And that was my Halloween.
Help parenting tips right there from Zigzag. Oof. Wow. Well, mine wasn't nearly as exciting as your guys's, but as some of you know, I'm a karaoke host in Oklahoma. So, 3 or 4 nights a week, I host a karaoke show. One of the shows, I was doing a special costume contest and karaoke show. So we had some good costumes. There was one guy that was dressed up as like Frankenstein, and his girl was the bride of Frankenstein. And I think they ended up winning like the group part of the contest. But I know the guy, and I didn't even recognize him. He walked up to me and said, hey, and everything. I was like, hey, what's up, man? Blah, 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 blah. Hey, that's good. He's good. You think I got a chance? I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't know, man. I'm not a judge. I don't know what's going on here. I just host this. And he walked off. And then he talked to me afterwards, and I finally recognized him. I was like, son of a bitch, Josh, it's you. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I won. I was like, well, God damn it. I didn't. And he's introducing me to his girl, and he's like, yeah, we go to concerts all the time. And I'm like, whoops. That was about the extent of my Halloween, so like I said, not as exciting as you guys's, but had to work.
I mean, weather-wise, it was the shortest Halloween of all time. I mean, it's usually hundreds of people in the streets in these neighborhoods are so close together. I'm thinking 12 people I could see, and it's like I could see down several roads and boroughs and everything. There was nothing, man.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Soft-ass motherfuckers, all right? Now, my youngest, she's 2. I literally took her down a block. Her and her mother went back home. It's cold. I was like, go and get her in the car, take her back home. She went trick-or-treating. Man, my oldest, she's 10. Man, we rocked that shit for an hour and 45 minutes. We hit up every fucking house. People were just doing handfuls of candy. I'm like, you're cold? She's like, I'm good. Let's go. I was like, that's my girl. Let's do this. Let's get that candy.
Candy's
and of course, Dad Tax bought me like 6 Reese's because she has so much. Usually, Dad Tax only gets you 1 or 2. I was like, nope, it's going to be 6 this year. You don't need all that shit.
For the extra.
My house literally had 5 trick-or-treaters.
That's sad, man. I remember the Halloween 1994. My ass went trick-or-treating in the snow. Every kid went trick-or-treating. The wind chill. When the wind wasn't blowing, honestly, I don't think it was that cold. All you had to do was bundle up.
Yeah.
Wear a fucking coat, a hat, and some gloves. You was good to go, man.
Just got to plan ahead.
Yeah, ninjas aren't as intimidating with a winter jacket on. You know what I'm saying?
Well, who gives a fuck?
Well,
it's Halloween night. Go out there and enjoy it.
He's playing the role, man, you know, but he had enough. But, dude, that wind, once that wind kicked up, we had an advisory here. I mean, it kicked up to like 60 miles an hour, bro. My umbrella went bye-bye.
Here, wind gusts were hitting about 40 miles an hour, which also knocked out about 20-degree wind chills. Now, we even had a freeze warning, but fuck that. We rock that shit. We're both good.
We got it done, but like I said, I think I might have sworn him off haunted houses, at least the dark haunts, for time to come, you know, and certainly off fucking Burger King Chicken McNuggets. The fuck you guys putting in that shit anyway? Good God.
Especially for $1.49 for 10, you know there's something wrong.
Demon juice.
I just figured they were kind of thin, you know, that was what they were doing, but it's like 3 of those match up to the other guys, you know?
Now, as far as haunts go, there's a reason why that Sandy Lane Acres Haunted Hayride's the first one I go to, because that's the only one my oldest is ready for. Gosh, I want to try so hard. Like, the big haunt around here in Cincinnati is the Dent Schoolhouse. It's rated one of the top ones in the country. She is not ready, so unfortunately, I didn't even get to go this year. But the first 2 weekends of December, at the Dent Schoolhouse, Christmas Nightmare. You best believe my ass is going to be there to celebrate my birthday in style.
They have around here, I don't know if they got them where you guys are, but they have like haunted hayrides kind of, but you're armed with a paintball gun and you get to cap zombies out in the field, right? And I told him about that. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll do that, you know, so we'll see. We'll see next year.
From all of us at the DCS, happy Halloween to all of you. Woo! That's going to wrap it up for Stories Around with Campfire. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to wrap up the show right after this. Stick around!
Yeah!
You think that when you die, you go to heaven. You come to us. Goodbye.
Death Curse Society has just become an associate producer on the film.
Yes.
Bravo. Bravo. Death Curse Society, guys, is so awesome. I met the guys, all 3 of the guys, at Indianapolis last year for Horror Hound. And I met those dudes, and I got to tell you, like, I hung out with them. We took pictures. I signed some stuff. They gave me a T-shirt. It was awesome. They are awesome guys. So super cool. I am so glad to have them on board this campaign and also on board the film. And now they are going to be IMDb credited as producers on this movie.
Thanks for sticking around to Death Curse Society. We're going to wrap up the show real quick. Ziggy, send them out tonight.
Hey, man, Filmora by Wondershare. This is why we look so good. The graphics, all the good stuff, the information you need presented to you in professional manners, all due to Filmora. Go to wondershare.filmora.com. Check it all out, especially version 9 with all the brand new graphic package. You'll love it.
All right. And make sure to check out our website, deathcursesociety.com, and, of course, all of our social media. Like, follow, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Get your friends involved in the Death Curse Society and interact with us all over these social media pages. We will interact right back with you. We love to have conversations with the fans all the time, so let's do it. Colonel.
My most favorite thing in the world right here, folks. See that beautiful Loomis t-shirt Red Crank's wearing? You know you fucking want it. Just fucking order it. We have them in sizes small to extra large for $20. 2X to 5X, $25. PayPal.me/zigzag is DCS. Get them while they're hot, folks. I guarantee it. You're going to show everybody that you're part of the society, and people are going to ask, how did you get such a badass fucking shirt?
That's right. Guys, our next episode is going to be November 21st, and we're going to be reviewing Dr. Sleep. Not just talking about the trailer, not just talking about what we hope about it. We're going to have seen it, and we're going to talk all about it. There will probably be spoilers. I'm just warning you right now because I probably won't be able to contain myself. But that's for next time. For the Colonel and for Zigzag, this is Red Crank saying DCS out. See you soon, everybody.
No, I don't think he's gay.
What? Or if you like to spend an hour and a half another way, you could be like the Colonel, dress up as eat your meat in the middle of and when the women come out after get the you throw your in their faces, say, "Be blessed with my seed, my child," and walk away.